Hello, hello, a very good evening, everyone, and welcome to the fourth round of the Digitraqz F3 challenge. We've already had three rounds before where Maarten Dekens was really dominating the championship until last round, in round three at Barcelona. It was a very magnificent comeback from Maxime Robroek, both drivers for Flemish Sim Sports. Today they will be battling at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. In the meanwhile, we also have, of course, the championship leader in the silver class, Matthias Laurens, who's also putting some very fast times down onto the leaderboards today in practice. Right now, we are only 3 minutes away in qualifying session, so still 6 minutes to go, and that gives us some time, Ronald, to talk about a lot of things. How are you doing?
Well, good evening, and good evening, everybody who is watching, and good evening, Jean. And indeed, we will have a lot of stuff to talk about probably during this race. Red Bull Ring, that's a track that's well suited for open wheel cars or single seaters, however you would like to call them. It's also on the Formula One calendar, if I'm not mistaken. So I guess we will have some nice racing going on later this evening.
Yeah, I think was it this year or last year that it was on the calendar of the F1 twice, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, with 23 or 24 races in the season, they must have ran out of tracks.
Yeah, could be. It seems that some of the sounds are coming through doubles in double. So we'll have to check that. So just do your stuff, Jean, and I will have a look at some buttons and sliders and things like that.
You do the tech stuff. I'll just a little something around it. Maarten Dekens, the championship leader, has put down the fastest time for now, and just as I said it must have been some kind of commentator's curse. It's Brian Talatizzi, the Frenchman, who put down a time only 3,000 seconds faster than Dekens. Also, Hans Poelmans, very strong early in the qualifying. In silver, it's Kenny Liebert this time with a provisionary pole position. Julia Agnesis following closely in second place, and then it's Gilles Philippars, who is in second place in the championship in the P3. And again, just like I said, just when I said it, it's Matthias Laurens, the championship leader, who is taking the third position away from Philippars. How is the sound coming through, Ronald? Is it better now? No news is good news, I guess. So I'll just continue. It's Maarten Dekens taking pole position again away from Brian Talatizzi, but Brian Talatizzi will be passing on to the start-finish straight just after the last corner here. Let's have a look if he can take a pole position for Unity Racing. That would be the first pole position he's had in this championship, and it looks like he does. First position, 125.065, 2 tenths faster than Maarten Dekens. Let's have a look who is still on the racetrack. It's Julien Agnesis, but he is on an in-lap or is going to teleport to pits. Of course, they only have 2 laps to put down their fastest time. Oh, and this is Matthias Laurens, the championship leader in silver class, who is going to cross the finish line for the last time in the session. Let's see what he does. He improves for a third position, 125.669. Not his best performance we've seen in this league, but it's still very strong. And he will be on the second row of the silver class.
Well, I've been checking some stuff, and I don't think it's coming through double. I think it's just a very yeah, roomy sound you have at the moment. So I think it's more or less just the surroundings where you're in, that it sounds a little bit more hollow than it used to be, maybe something like that. But I don't have an echo whenever I check some stuff.
Maybe I'll try to put the mic in a different position, and then we'll see if it improves. If it doesn't, we'll have to do some testing in between the fourth and the fifth round, because there is still some rounds to go in this championship. We are right now at the Red Bull Ring for the fourth round, but the fifth round will be in the Netherlands at Circuit Zandvoort, followed by Interlagos, and then the finals will be at the home circuit for most of us, and that is Spa-Francorchamps.
Yes, indeed. And maybe it's a good time to go over the standings as they are currently. So let's check out the silver class and the gold class. So we start with the silver class. At the moment, leading the silver championship is Matthias Lorijs, followed by Sam Puttevils and Gilles Philippaerts in third. And if we have a look at the gold, then we see Maarten Dekens leading for Maxime Robroek, who is in P2, and Alexis de Klerk in P3. So that's the podium at the moment, but we still have a lot of rounds to cover, so a lot can happen, and a lot can happen this evening, of course, so it will be good to see some of the action on track and to see how it will play out in the standings as well.
Yeah, because we're missing quite some drivers today. There should be 12 drivers in gold class, and I'm seeing only 7 of them. So they maybe some of them still have exams, maybe they're students, who knows? And in silver class as well, should be 13 drivers, but we're missing quite a few as well. But a little bit less. 9 drivers are present on the grid, and lots of them are still in contention of the championship.
Yeah, and that is perfectly timed, so we can go to the grid and have a look at qualifying results and, of course, also the starting order.
Yes, absolutely. In silver class, it's Gilles Philippaerts with a pole position, followed closely by Julien Agnes, with only 0.005 of a second between the two of them. Then it's Matthias Laurijs, the championship leader, followed by Kenny Liebert, Matthias Jacobs, Jonas Roels, and then Sam Puttevils in P7, Lorenz de Vlieger, and Flavio Romano.
And in gold, we see Brian Talatizzi taking pole, followed by Maarten Dekens, Hans Poelmans in third, Thomas Gallois fourth, and Maxime Robroek fifth, Alexis de Klerk sixth, and Pieter Goossens in seventh place.
Alright, still waiting for a couple of cars to join us on the grid. Only waiting for Alexis de Klerk and Flavio Romano. And then we will be racing for 47 laps at the Red Bull Ring. Legendary circuit, very fast, lots of slipstream as well. So I'm expecting some close battles in these Formula 3 cars, because when you've got a slipstream one of those, you can really benefit from it. Okay, the lights are going on, and as soon as they go off, then it's race on for 47 laps. And the lights are on, let's go. 47 laps of racing. Brian Talatizzi taking the start. Maarten Dekens defending early on, before T1 even. But it's a very good start from Thomas Gallois, and it seemed like he got beside him.
And a crash in the background. Sorry.
It looked like the KGL Sim Racing Formula car that went airborne just a little bit. And that's that way there has been a gap between all those cars. Eagle Speed Academy on the inside, followed by the Flemish Sim Sports, very close there to the others. Let's have a look at the leaders. Brian Talatizzi managed to pull a gap, and there is Maarten Dekens and Maxime Robroek probably going to battle for it, but it would be a good idea to work together and get closer and closer to Brian Talatizzi. Thomas Galois also very close behind the third Flemish Sports driver. And then we have the silver grid, Lorenz de Vlieger taking the lead early on with his maneuver into T3. Kenny Liebert from KGL Sim Racing is still alive, so it must have been another car that we saw going airborne. And that's it, crossing the line already for the first time in the race. And back through T1, massive slipstream can be used here on the track. So you see here Matthias Laurès taking the lead, but it's Sam Puttevels and Gilles Philippars who are getting closer and closer. Puttevels on the outside here. Oof, looked like a little bit of a tap on the spoiler and the rear wheel. Strong lead for Brian Talatizzi. Martin Dig is following closely. Maxime Robert didn't manage to close the gap completely, and he's now leading Hans Poelmans, who will be trying to get away from Thomas Galois, the Frenchman, who is proven some very strong pace earlier in the championship. Philipparts and Liebert side by side, but it looks like Philipparts is going into pit lane. Does he have some technical issues, or maybe he didn't get the right amount of fuel?
Or maybe a jump start?
Also possible, yeah, of course.
Yeah, and I think indeed we had some audio issues. That's been fixed now, so I'm back as well. I have been watching the race, and indeed there were some close calls already. And I was before the start. I still wanted to say it's a challenging track. We have some fast corners, some heavy braking zones, some very sharp corners, and a lot of opportunities to overtake as well. Actually,
yeah, absolutely. Lots of opportunities to overtake, especially in the braking zones on the inside, maybe. Absolutely. It appears to me that at least two cars are into pit lane, and that is Matthias Jacobs and Flavio Romano.
Yeah, we see a message of Romano, who he is, he had to drop out because of some technical issues. Apparently packet loss, so looks like a bad internet connection, and that's why he is already out, unfortunately.
That's a shame. So early in the race, the first lap wasn't even finished, I guess. Yeah, I think he didn't even start the race. It appears to me. Oh, are we going to see something here? That's Hans Poelmans on the inside of Maxime Robroek.
Yeah.
But very good exit now for Maxime Robroek, and he has the inside on the next corner.
Yeah, Maxime left the door open. He saw Hans coming, and he just left the door open and trying to get back on the exit.
Of course, they are teammates, so it wouldn't be the smartest thing to battle for the whole race, but it is fun though. I wouldn't mind. It's fun to watch as well. Watch them go side by side for half a lap.
Yeah, well, we don't know the team rules, so it could be that the one who's last should bring coffee cooker next time. So they probably have something to fight for. So yeah, I guess they will race as hard as with any other competitor as well.
Maybe they're doing it for the screen time as well.
Of course.
Jonas Hulls also very close to Kenny Liebert, the team boss of KGL Sim Racing. Can you really see the
This could be an
tenths of a
attack.
second closing in? By a lot this time. Maybe Kenny has some damage or he lifted, I'm not sure. But it looked like Jonas had a lot more speed than Kenny had.
Yeah, I think Kenny lifted. Maybe he's trying to manage his tires a little bit, not fighting too hard already. And it's also a difficult corner to go side by side, that one. So sometimes it's better just to back off early.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just looking at the incidents. Might be interesting to have a look at what happened at the start.
Oh, that's a very wide line there by Kenny. Yeah, because there are quite some off tracks here as off tracks and yeah, slowdowns as well. But it's easy to go off track, especially in the two last corners. You can take a lot of runoff area, but there's also a limit to that. So if you go into the corner at high speed and run wide, you will pick up incident points.
Absolutely. But it's I think the track limits at Red Bull Ring are pretty vague. It's sometimes hard to see when you're in the car how far you can go off the track. Especially because the curbs are pretty flat here, so you don't feel them that much. There's no sausages whatsoever.
Now only in turn, on the exit of turn 1, there's a... It's not really a sleeping policeman, as they say, but there's also a higher yellow curb. And that can unsettle the car quite hard, actually, and even and especially with a single-seater, suspension is not going to like that if you run over that yellow border too often.
Absolutely. In the meanwhile, it's Matthias Laurens, the championship leader in silver class, chasing down Lorenz Vlieger. The tenths of a second are closing down every lap. So it looks like they might get into a battle this lap or the next lap. We'll have to wait and see. In the meanwhile, I see that that Nick De Beck is also has also joined us in the chat. So happy birthday to you, Nick.
Oh, happy birthday indeed.
Yes,
I'm not going to
it's his
sing.
birthday today.
I still
I
have
don't know how old he's getting today, but I guess it's pretty old. Just kidding.
I'm not going to respond to that.
That's a shame. That's what I was trying to go for.
Yeah. Yeah, I still have a bit of a cold, so I'm not gonna sing. Otherwise, I would have sung, but yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
Not gonna happen today.
That's the excuse. Nice, man. The battle between Robroek and Poelmans also continues. I say battle, but maybe it's just some teamwork, trying to get closer and closer to their other teammates, Maarten Dekens, who is on his turn trying to chase down Palatizzi. And Maarten Dekens is succeeding in it. He gained 0.2 of a second in the last lap. Oh, Nick has only gotten 34. That's still pretty good. I mean, it's double of the average sim racer's age, but no, just messing.
Yeah, it's not a blue pill age yet.
No. I hope not. Getting very close here. Pullman's probably suffering from some understeer because of the dirty air.
Yeah, so we have 3 Flemish cars chasing Talatizzi at the moment.
Yeah, the Flemish Sim Sports guys have been performing pretty strongly in this league and this season. Of course, they are quite numerous. I think 4 of them are in gold class. Not 100% sure, but there is a lot of them.
Yeah, and Maxime and Hans are gaining actually. So they are getting closer to Maarten, who is more or less at the same distance still. The gap is almost the same between him and Talatizzi. And also the gap between Lorenz de Vlieger and Matthias Lorijs remains more or less the same.
Yeah, it was at 6/10 last lap. Now it's at 4/10 more or less. It is fluctuating a little bit, so I guess this battle might be going on for a while. I still haven't forgotten about the replay from the start. If anyone's wondering, but
Oh, bit of a...
right now there's some good battles, so we'll just
Yes.
wait it out until it gets a little bit calmer.
Matthias picking up some dirt, but not losing any time.
Now he has to focus on a good exit. You see clearly that De Vlieger is using a lot more of the track. De Vlieger maybe taking a little bit less, Laurès taking a little bit less risk maybe.
Oh, that's yeah, that's the sausage curb I was talking about. That yellow one. We saw Lawrence going over that curb quite harsh.
I see that a certain Brian T has commented in the chat if F3 cars need to refuel in this race. I'm wondering if it's the same Brian T that is in the lead of the gold class. Does he have the time and the pace to type some messages in the YouTube chat?
The answer is hotkeys or shortcuts, maybe. Although we have seen other drivers do that as well, just typing stuff in chat while driving.
And to answer his question, the Formula 3 cars are limited at 75% of their fuel capacity, which means that they do have to refuel a little bit. There is one mandatory pit stop. And as we've learned, they also tend to take the tires. Hans Poelmans demonstrated how to not take tires, and it messed up his race quite a bit at Imola in the first round. So yeah, it's better to refuel and take the tires. I'm not sure about this track though, because it's more of a fast track. Maybe a little bit less stress on the tires.
Well, it seems that it's not Brian who is racing, and Brian that is typing messages in chat is not the same as Brian that is racing at the moment.
I wouldn't mind though. It keeps it exciting. But talking about Brian, it's if he manages to keep his position, he's going to score quite some points. He's in P4 in the championship right now with 24 points. That's almost half of the points Maarten Deken has. He has 57 points. But with a win, you get a lot closer to the championship contention. So if he gets to take the win, that would be a very good thing for his race.
Then as we have a look at the times at the moment, Martin is losing a bit of time, and that means that Maxime and Hans are getting closer as well, and Brian is building a gap at the moment. And indeed, it's something has changed with the weather settings. I believe that the track temp is lower than it was in the previous races because it was quite hot, and that didn't help with tire wear either. So tires should last longer now because of the lower temps.
Yeah, lots of the drivers were complaining about track temperature because it was over 40 degrees, which is pretty hot, yeah, but right now it's at 28 degrees Celsius, which is kind of perfect, I would say.
Yeah, that's a nice temp. Very wide line there by Brian, but also Martin in the background was going very wide.
This is going to get close after T1. Oh, maybe before T1 even. Oh, De Vlieger just showing his nose to the review mirror of De Vlieger. Let's see if he can take some slipstream, but it looks like De Vlieger had a very good exit and is going to manage to stay ahead of Matthias Laurès. So maybe with the lower track temperatures, we won't see too many tire changes. They might just take the first set of tires to the end. We'll have to wait and see, and maybe we'll find out in the interviews after the race.
Yeah, although racing drivers and sim racers do tend to push harder with lower temps, so they could try to use the tires more than they would on a hot track. So it all depends actually of your driving style as well. But we haven't seen as much slides as we saw in the previous races so far. So yeah, definitely more grip than before.
Yeah, absolutely. I just saw in the timing that Gilles Philippaerts and Alexis de Klerk were switching positions quite sometimes in the previous lap, but it looks like Philippaerts has taken the upper hand of the battle and gained a position in the meanwhile. Still a shame for his race because he qualified very, very strongly, but couldn't make it happen, unfortunately. Qualified in pole position even, so now 16 class. Still has some stuff to make up for.
Yeah, my guess is it was a jump start maybe.
Yeah,
I can't remember if I saw a car moving moving too soon. Can't remember it, but that's my guess that it would be like a jump start maybe.
Alright, most battles are calming down a little bit. Let's have a look maybe at the eventful start after... Yeah, okay, let's have a look at the start. I see that Alexis de Klerk, the number 12, the yellow one, that's driving close to the wall, he was reported as a crash. Oh, that's a big lunge. I think was it Peter Goossens?
Unfortunately, the replay isn't working, Jean. The SDK is having some issues with the replay. Now this one is okay, yeah.
So let's have a look at.
Oh, there was a
Yeah.
one of the
Oh, and did you see the KGL cars?
yes, but it was
Two of them just collided. Let's have another quick look.
there's one car coming through very hard. I'm not sure who it is actually. Is that Peter Gosses maybe?
That's Peter Goossens.
Yeah, that was a bit.
That hit the Unity Racing Formula car.
Yeah,
But there was also two KGL sim racing cars that collided.
yeah. We had two incidents actually, and indeed one of the KGL cars got airborne.
I think it was Julien Agnesens.
Yeah, he was the car that got.
Yeah, and maybe Matthias Jacobs. I think it was those two. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's Julien Agnesens spinning out, and then
Oh.
yeah, a big crash from his teammate Matthias Jacobs.
Yeah, just lost the rear of the car, and then there was a collision, and then behind them there was the incident with yeah, Peter Gosses, I believe. Let's have a check. I will check the number. Yeah, it was number 88, so that's indeed Peter Gosses.
I'm not sure why the lifetiming does this, but right now the silver class is above the gold class. It's a weird thing that sometimes happens. Yeah, Brian, we don't get it either, but sometimes shit happens. Maybe there was a brake failure or something.
Yeah, well, there was room on the inside, but it's such a tight, narrow, and sharp corner, so you don't want to be on the inside there. And then yeah, if you slightly overshoot the corner, then yeah, things like this happen. I guess he just got his braking marker wrong.
It is what it is.
Now of course, we have waited a lot of. We waited a lot before we went to the crash at the start, but at the moment it's Matthias Lores who is in
I
front
was
of.
just going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
He must have missed.
So maybe it would be nice to have a look at that
So
overtake as
let's
well.
check this out.
Yes.
That's on the end of the straight between T1 and T3.
Yeah.
Clean pass on the inside. Not much that could be done here by Lorenz of Liger, but he is staying close though. Probably wanted to take some profit into the entry of, what is that, T5? Something? T4 then?
Yeah, we saw a lot of
But it
corrections
is.
there in that corner by Lawrence. If you looked at his hands on the steering wheel, we could see that he was making a lot of corrections. So he was definitely on the edge, trying to follow Matthias. And also here we are getting a nice battle.
Yeah, Martin Dijk is really caught up with Talatizi, so Talatizi strongly looking into his mirrors now and trying to defend as much as possible. The race is still 29 laps, but the longer he can stay ahead, probably the better for him. The gap between Laurijs and De Vlieger in silver class has gotten a little bit bigger as well. I see that there's been a very slight off track for Laurens De Vlieger. And now it's Julien Agnesos coming into pit lane already. Would that be his regular pit stop? Feels kind of early, but maybe he's trying to undercut.
Yeah, or maybe he just wants to park the car because of the crash at the start. Lost a lot of time probably with towing back to pit lane, repairs and stuff like that. So maybe he's just saying, okay, I'm just gonna skip this one. Yeah, I have the impression that the cars are starting to slide a bit more actually. I think Brian is really pushing hard, and you can see the back of the car sometimes it's not sliding like a big drift or something, but you can see that the back of the car is definitely working very hard at the moment. He's trying to break the slipstream, so he is well aware of the threat that is behind him.
Yeah, after three good rounds, Dekens has gotten probably some reputation of the guy you don't want to have in your mirrors. So Talatisi will put everything on the line to stay ahead and try to get as much points as possible. There's 20 points to give out to the winner, and I think it's 1 point for the fastest lap. So that's 21 points to be gained. No points for qualifying, just points for the top 10 and the fastest lap.
Yeah, especially in this combination, you can see the car work very hard. So they are not holding back, and these four do have quite a gap between them and Galois at the moment. So the race is definitely on between those four cars at the moment. And also in silver, the gaps are getting bigger.
You don't really see it from this angle, but you saw it from the previous angle. The braking zone for T1 is really, really uphill.
Yeah.
Not as much as Eau Rouge Radillon at Spa-Francorchamps. It's uphill, but it's kind of steep though.
Yeah, I think you can compare it more or less with turn 1 in on the circuits of the Americas. That's also a steep hill going into corner in the first corner, although there's a lot more space than in this first corner.
Yeah, absolutely. Good reference to Circuit of the Americas indeed. In the meanwhile, there's a battle between Matthias Laurijs in the lead of silver class, followed by the Unity Thomas Gallois, and then it's Jonas Wolf, but oh, sorry, it was Laurens De Vlieger. But Thomas Gallois made some room to let De Vlieger pass and try to chase down again Laurijs. Thomas Gallois, he was in P5 overall, but let the two silver drivers past. So good sportsmanship from him.
Yeah, and he remains 5th in class, so that's where the points are for him as well. And looking at the gap, it's like 14 seconds. So it could be he is just saying, okay, P5 it's going to be for me, so I'm just going to run the race, not take any risks, and take the points for P5. And that are solid points, of course. Especially in a race with like this one where you have less cars, you do have to finish because it's a great opportunity to score more points than maybe in other races where you have more cars and more competitors. So yeah, maybe a wise decision just to go and aim for this P5. And again, now you really see the slides by Brian, and that gives Maarten the opportunity to get really close. So this could become an overtake going into turn 1 eventually, if he can stay close and going very wide there. I think he's a bit too far now at the moment. He went too wide. He could smell the opportunity and maybe went in a little bit too hot. But I do think that Brian is starting to struggle with the tires actually. He's sliding more.
Yes, indeed.
He's
It does
defending.
seem like it. A little bit wide here.
Yeah, also here a little bit of a twitch going on the accelerator. And not only is Maarten Dekens getting closer, also Maxime Robroek is getting closer. So let's have a look how the car behaves now in these couple of corners, because this is where he went sliding a little bit. Yeah, I think this was a bit tighter.
Yeah, way better this time, but
Yeah.
a good run from Maarten Dekens. Only 1/10 of a second between both of them right now. So, well, it all comes down to the exit of the last turn. Oh, a little bit wide there for Maarten
Yeah,
Dekens.
but he's close.
Might
He's
have
close
been off
now.
track. Let's see, focus on the exit here. Looks like a good one for Talatizi. Some smoke there from, I think it was Hans Poelmans behind them.
Yeah, he lost about a second. Yeah, Brian slightly missing the apex again. That's a ballsy move.
Yeah. It was a good try. Didn't really make it stick though, but that's a lot of pressure to be put on the shoulders of Talatizi to keep it in one piece and stay ahead in the meanwhile.
Yeah, in this combination, Maarten is still a bit faster than Brian, because he's always gaining there and it's very close. Again, a bit of a slide by Brian. This time again, Maarten going wide. This corner is going to be very important now. A bit of a slide as well by Maarten. Not much, not like it's really drifting or something, but you can see the car work very hard. The back end of the car is working very hard, and that gives Brian the opportunity to pull away slightly, going defensive now. And you can see Maxime Robroek is getting closer as well. He's really using the opportunity that is given by him, because the two cars in front of him are battling very hard. Dekens again close to Talatizi. Brian picking up some dirt as well.
Yeah, it's a pretty good strategy as well if Dekens battles a lot with Talatizi, because that means that Robroek and Poelmans can get closer and closer. And the more points for Flemish Sim Sports, the better. But good performance for Unity Racing today. I think it's the first time that Talatisi has led the race for such a long time. And there they go again, side by side.
Yeah,
Some
and this time
side
it's...
draft.
Yeah, Maarten is on the inside now. So it's all going to depend on who's going to brake later. Brian leaving room. A bit of a smoke coming from the car of Maarten Dekens as well. And that gives Robroek the opportunity to get very close and now attacking his teammate. While Brian is defending from Dekens.
Maxime Robroek must be enjoying himself right now, seeing his teammates do all the work and him just getting closer and closer lap by lap. Hans Poelmans, who was in P4, has went to pits and is back on the track, so he must have done his regular pit stop early. Maybe some fresh rubber as well. Another battle side by side here. Gilles Philipparts trying to get past Sam Puttevels, has the inside here and makes it past. Let's see if he can keep the position into the next section. Looks like he does already manage to pull away 0.3 of a second.
Yeah, and also the leader in silver class is in pit lane. Drop back to second place at the moment. Lorraine is also in pit lane, so yeah.
Yes, so
I
that
guess
means that
we
it's
will
Liga
see
again
more
in the lead.
pit stops are coming in right now. So also Puttevels in pit lane. And Dekens just passed Talatizzi.
Yep,
But Talatizzi is fighting back. He's fighting back.
Side by side here. This is where Talatizzi was really struggling with his tires. Still manages to keep it in a straight line. Has some good slipstream right now, but same goes for Maxime Robroek. So Talatizzi really has to look both ways.
Oh, yeah. You can see the car going slightly sideways again. Really pushing hard.
And Robroek went to pit lane, so
yeah.
Talatizzi doesn't have to look into his mirrors anymore. Just focus now on his pace and try to catch up with Maarten Dekens.
Yeah, maybe they should just not battle this lap and just try to put 1 or 2 fast laps together. Just trying to break away from Robroek, who is in pit lane at the moment. Because if they start battling now, as they do, Talatizzi on the inside. Yeah, nice move there. Oh, a bit of contact.
It looked like a little kiss from the front splitter of Dekens.
Yeah, nothing really hard. Just I don't see any damage at the moment. Not on the car of Dekens, and also Talatizzi just looks okay. So a bit of rubbing there. Not something you want to do often with these single seaters. Is Dekens going into pit lane? Yes, he is.
Yes, he is, and that means that only 3 drivers are left to go into pit lane, and that is Brian Talatizzi, Thomas Gallois for the gold class, and Jonas Roos, who's currently leading the silver class. He's still about to make a pit stop, probably this lap or the next one.
Yeah, so Brian has to push really hard now. This has to be a very clean lap. They lost probably some time the last lap in regards to Maxime Robroek. So this one has to be fast and clean. But he probably will have to come into pit lane as well. Not sure if he still has fuel in tank for do an extra lap. I think that would be the best scenario for him if he just could run another lap again. Without traffic, without the pressure of somebody behind him, just running clean, fast laps. That's what he needs to do right now. He's coming into pit lane, yeah.
Yeah, that means that only Thomas Galois still has to go into pit lane. Probably will be coming in this lap. Jonas Roels has already pitted in the in this lap as well. Let's have a look if he's going in for a pit stop. Yes, he is.
Yeah, and then we will have to see where Brian is still in pit and Robroek is coming closer. I think we just saw him going past Galois, who was coming in. Oh, he's... I did not expect that, to be honest. With a gap of 3 seconds coming out of pit lane, actually.
Yeah, and 5 seconds to Maarten Dekens.
Yes.
Let's have a look at the pit lane times. They weren't that much different. Might be an issue with iRacing Live timing, but it does look like they were only a couple of tenths away from each other, so it must have been done at the pit entry or exit.
Yeah. But the gap is, I believe, indeed 2.5 seconds is quite correct. If you can see Robroek coming out of the corner, so the gaps are a lot bigger than before. So very good pit stop by Brian. I really was expecting them getting close again after the pit stop. But then there was suddenly a gap of about 3 seconds, although Robroek is getting really close, really fast at the moment. Almost feels like he's forming a slowdown actually, because look at the gap. It's just come down from 2.5 seconds to less than a second.
Yeah, must have been a
could be a
slowdown
slowdown actually, that he just try to manage and just spread.
Yeah, weird thing, but good news for Maxime Robroek. He really took profit from the battle between Talatizi and Dekens. And now he's taking profit from the slowdown of Talatizi as well.
Yeah,
or maybe,
I'm guessing it's a slowdown because the gap.
Hypothetically, maybe Talatizi didn't take a slowdown. He just slowed down a bit to keep the battle going. Maybe he's that sure of himself, you know.
Yeah, but yeah, the Maarten Dekens has lost the most actually because of the pit stops. And that's because of the battle between him and Talatizi, I believe. When Robroek went into pit lane, they were battling and they lost some time in regards to Maxime.
Something else happened. The who had been the leader in silver class came into pits for a second time. He did 2 pit stops.
That could be a drive-through, maybe.
Maybe it was a drive-through indeed.
Although, if I'm not, I can see Jill Philippaerts coming into pit lane as well at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, but he came into pits quite early.
Yeah.
So maybe he still had to go for a splash and dash. Looks like he's going to stop in the box.
Yeah. Yeah, if you... Oh, nice battle again. Is Robroek this time trying to go around the outside? Trying to go for the undercut maybe? No, the gap is too big. Yeah, I was saying maybe Gilles took some fuel when he had his first, let's say pit stop. Could be a penalty. Maybe stop and go, and then just took some fuel, and that just gave him like 1 or 2 laps extra at the moment.
Yep, so the battle continues. Also in silver class, I see that Jonas Roels is getting quite close to Gilles Philippart, who just got out of pit lane. Due to the pit stop, he lost the lead and has now a 20-second gap to the leader, Matthias Laurès. Jonas Roels 3/10 behind him. Ooh la la, let's have a quick look. I see that they're side by side here. Talatisi on the inside, fortunately for him, but a good exit here for Maxime Robroek. A very good exit. He's going to have the inside in T4, so that should be a pass, but it looks like Talatisi has way more straight line speed. Oof. Still side by side. Now it's Talatisi with the inside of the next corner. Let's just hope this battle doesn't end in tears. Yep, now it's...
was it?
I
oh, there's
jinxed
contact.
it. I jinxed it.
Yeah, that was very strange, but there must have been some contact because he lost his front wing.
Yeah.
Was hard to see from an angle. It looks to me like he just went straight, but I think he had some contact.
Yeah, I think as well. I think we have to take a look back at it.
Yeah.
Does look like...
Yeah, that was contact. Not much, but enough to rip off the front wing, and also yeah, Maxime Robroek losing some time. But indeed, yeah, could be netcode indeed. A bit of netcode is probably involved as well.
It didn't really look like some hard contact.
No. Yeah, I think indeed some netcode.
I take the blame. I jinxed it.
Too bad, because I was about to say, well, you only need 2 or 3 cars to have an interesting race, actually, but unfortunately that battle is now over. But luckily for us, we have another battle going on. So
the last time I checked, it was Matthias Laurès, then Gilles Philippart, then Jonas Roels. And right now it looks like Gilles Philippart lost 2 spots, and right now we'll have to defend to Sam Puttevils. Not sure what happened there, or did he go in pit lane again? I think he did. Let's check. Yeah, he just went into pit lane last lap again.
Could be a drive-through, maybe.
Yeah, looks like it looks to me like it was a drive-through.
Yeah, it's something we said before. The off tracks can be brutal on this track, and as you said, Jean, is not always clear where the limit is actually, and you can pick up off tracks easily, and then you will get a drive-through at a certain point.
Yep, that means that that most of the battles have calmed down a bit. I do see another crash that came in a minute ago from Sam Puttevils, the number 3 car in the middle of the screen here. It was reported as a crash, but was it? Oh, yeah, it was a spin, and a very lucky spin for, I think it was Alexis de Klerk. who just missed out on a what could have been a fatal contact.
Yeah, and Butterfield was lucky that that was some kind of ghost barrier because his nose went through, but the wing still remained on the car, which is strange to see because the contact between Brian and Robert was only very slight, and then the wing went off easy, and now even with it hitting the barrier, it just stayed on. All depends, of course, on the angle of the impact as well.
Absolutely, and maybe because it's gotten a little bit calmer right now, it's time to make some promotion for the next challenge that Digitraqz came up with, and it's going to be quite an interesting one, especially for you, Ronald, because it's the Digitraqz MX5 challenge. That's something
Yes.
that holds you very dearly.
Yeah, I already signed up as well, so
I thought
I
so.
will
Yeah,
not
I'll have to do
be
the
doing any
commentary alone.
commentating.
No, of course, we still have our colleague Thomas who will do the commentary together with
Yeah.
me, and then we can curse the hell out of you.
Yes.
So let's talk about it a little bit more. There is an MX5 challenge coming up very soon. You can find the information in the Discord channel. The first race will be on Wednesday, 13th of March this year, and there will be 9 rounds but 18 races. So every round has 2 races, and of course we will start at the home base, Circuit Zolder, then Zandvoort, Brands Hatch, Watkins Glen, Knock Hill, Sebring, Alton Park, Long Beach, and Laguna Seca. So the this championship or this MX5 challenge will go on for the rest of the year. So it will start in March, and I think the final round is in December. I don't have the exact dates in front of me, but it's going to be quite exciting. Of course, we will provide the broadcast on this channel, and and it has the same sponsors as well: KGL, Creation Lab, Simagic, Digitraqz, and Simware.eu. So some pretty cool prizes to win as well. Make sure to check it out on the Discord channel.
Yeah, and I do hope we get a lot of entries because it's definitely not the fastest car, the MX-5, but it's such a fun car to drive, especially in a big pack. I don't know if you have watched the IMSA, because the IMSA MX-5 Cup it's the Whelan,
it's
the
the
Whelan.
best thing there is. The MX-5s at Daytona.
It's crazy.
It's so crazy. Always a slipstream.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw a finish, I think, was it this year or last year, where P1 in the final corner became P11 at the line.
Yeah.
They're always so close to each other.
Yeah, it's really, really, really nice to see. There's always stuff going on, and it's amazing how they crashes happen, but not that much actually. If you look at how close they are racing, so yeah, the MX-5 is definitely a nice car to race with, also in iRacing.
Yes, and right now we're looking at Brian Talatisi, who had a small incident right here with Maxime Robroek, lost his nose and front wing, but still drives on.
Yeah, but
although he has a fast repair, he didn't get into pit lane, probably to save track position, but I'm not sure if that's the smartest thing to do, or I think it would be incredibly difficult to drive like that.
Yeah, well, it's about 8 laps to go. The car behind him is Galois. It's about 7 seconds away. So he's not... I don't think he will lose another place, actually. And even if Thomas gets close, some team orders could come into play as well. Yeah, it's a difficult call to make actually, and at the point of this race to go into pit lane, lose a lot of time. Yeah, maybe your car will get faster, but then you have to like gain back about. I can't see the pit lane times at the moment, but
36 seconds,
so
37 seconds.
yeah, gaining back 36 seconds isn't easy either. So yeah.
I mean, that's the time with a refuel and tires, so it's definitely more than 20 seconds if you just take the fast repair.
Yeah.
I was looking at his lap times. He lost 1.3 seconds in the previous lap, the lap where he got passed by Matthias Laures. But maybe if he managed to gain a little bit in the slipstream, he lost a little bit less in this round. And then, yeah, who knows? Maybe he'll get to keep his position.
So, am I correct if I say we have 3 Flemish cars and then 3 Unity racing cars?
I think so, yeah. Brian Talatisi is Unity, Thomas Gallois is Unity as well, and then Alexis Leclerc. All 3 of them are Frenchmen as well. The only 3 Frenchmen in this league. We also had 2 Spaniards. I don't think they're not present today.
No.
I think one of them even gave up because he had some incident or something, but
Struggling with the internet connection, if I'm not mistaken.
also,
yeah. Could be as well. Yeah, and like you said before, some of the youngsters indeed have probably no time to race in this at this time of year because they have to study.
Oh, and Alexis Leclerc, with only 6 laps to go on the clock, going into pit lane, what could be a drive-through as well. We've seen some people take a drive-through before. I think it was Gilles Philipparts.
Looks like a drive-through.
This does look like a drive-through for Leclerc. And that means he got passed by Kenny Liebert and by Gilles Philipparts, but of course they are silver drivers in a different class. There we have some Putteville for try racing. The championship is looking good for Maarten Dekens as he is still in the lead with a gap of 4 seconds to his teammate Robroek. If he manages to keep this position, he will only extend his lead in the championship even further. Let me have a look at the standings because Dekens has 57 points and Robroek 49. Followed by Alexis Leclerc, who is not in the best position he's been this season. He's in a P6, but P3 in the championship with 42 points, so he's going to need all the points he can get. Same goes for Brian Talatisi with 24 points. But Hans Poelmans with a 3rd position, he might be scoring his best results in this season so far.
Yep. But he still needs to bring coffee cooker for the team. At least in gold class.
As long as he tells me when and where, then it's fine.
Yeah.
I'll be there. In the meanwhile,
and I
the
think also
discussion with... Sorry,
for
go ahead.
Kenny Liebert, it's also one of the is a good result as well. P3
Yeah, absolutely. He was going so strong at
in
Circuit Gilles Villeneuve
yeah.
last time, but then he had some... I think he had some bad luck in the end, or I'm not sure anymore what happened.
Yeah, there
I
was a
do know
crash.
everyone was struggling with the tires
Yeah.
and the track temps.
Yeah. But at the moment, there was somebody else going into pit lane, I believe.
Julien Agneses again.
Yeah, I heard the sound, the warning sound of a car coming into pit lane, and he's doing a pit stop. But Gilles Philippaerts is getting closer to Kenny at the moment. Still have about four laps to go.
This
More or
might become a
less.
podium battle in the end. For those that are looking at the chat, there's still a discussion going on with Ferre, also known as Stefan. I would like to say his family name, but I can't since no one manages to pronounce it correctly and he doesn't want to say. But he will sign up in the MX5 League just so I can mispronounce it every time. What a friendly guy. This is what we expect. Talatisi is still ahead of Galba, but I don't think he's going to cut it.
A bit of blinking.
Yeah, some connection issues for Thomas Galba. But with only half a second, even less than half a second, he will probably overtake Talatisi.
Yeah, he's going to be faster. That's for sure. All depends if they agree to finish in this order or not.
Yeah, Galba got really close before T3 and now he wasn't really anymore.
I don't think he's going to attack actually. Doesn't look like it because he should be faster with the car that is in a whole lot better shape than the one of Brian. Oh yeah, Brian is moving out of the way now and just letting his teammate pass. And this is getting close as well. This is going to be a sprint for the podium, that's for sure.
Absolutely, just 2 more laps to go when they cross the line. So this might be quite the battle to finish the race with.
Yeah, and who has got some margin regarding incident points? Because, that's Kenny letting Gilles go by actually, not putting up a fight.
Maybe he is struggling with incident points and doesn't want
Could
to
be
do
if
that
you're on the
anymore.
edge, then yeah, the risk is too high to pick up another one. And then even drop back even more. So
I see that there's been quite the off track from Lorenz de Vlier. Let's have a quick look at it.
oops.
Oops, yeah, that's a big spin there right into the gravel trap. The same place where we saw Talatisi have a spin when he was battling with Martin Dekens.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say the positions are more or less fixed at the moment. No real battles going on. So I guess without any drama caused by incident points and drive-throughs, we are well on our way to have this as a result as well.
Yeah, you never know because every time I say something, then something happens. So
So yeah, that's why I said
I
it,
just tend to jinx everything.
in the hope something would happen.
Well, as long as something goes wrong with the drivers and not with the stream, it's fine for me. Otherwise,
Yeah,
it's our problem.
indeed. No, I don't want to cause any issues for the drivers either. So they have done a great race. This should be the last lap for
Yeah.
Maarten
White flag
Dekes. We saw the
being
white
waved.
flag.
Yes, indeed. So Martin Diggs taking off for the last lap of the race. Still in a solid first position, followed by his teammate Maxim Robuk. And then the next one in line is his other teammate, Hans Poelmans. In silver, it's still Matthias Laurès in the lead, followed by Jonas Roels, who is still 27 seconds behind, followed by Gilles Philipparts in a third position in class.
Yeah, too bad about the stuff that happened with Brian, because there was a very nice battle between Dekes, Roobroek and Talatidze. So, last corner for Maarten Dekes. Picking up a solid win again.
A very, very solid win. So that's 20 points in the books for him. No fastest lap though. The fastest lap will probably be going to Maxime Robrok, who just passed in P2. And then we have Hans Poelmans taking really all the track he can use to pass the finish line. And now it's just time to wait for Matthias Laurès, the leader and winner of today in silver class, with a magnificent 27-second gap to P2.
Yeah,
Now
close
we'll
to
have a look at Thomas Gallois for Unity Racing, the first Frenchman to cross the finish line in front of his teammate, who he managed to pass like a lap or two ago. And then it's just time to wait for Jonas Roels, also taking the last corner here. Finishing in P2, he managed to take 6 positions this race, so very strong performance. P3 for Gilles Philipparts, the after taking I think pole position. Excuse me, the screen is gone. Yeah, there it is. Lorenz de Vlier for Eagle Speed Academy Esports in P6 and Matthias Jacobs in P8. Julien Agnesis was just in between them, but he already jumped to pit lane. And that is it for today. So I guess it's time to have a look at the results. In gold class, we have a winner today, Maarten Dekens for Flemish Sinsports, followed by his two teammates, Maxime Roboek and Hans Poelmans. So very good performance for Flemish Sinsports, followed by also a good performance of Unity Racing. Thomas Gallois in P4, Brian Talatidze, who led most of the race, in P5, followed by Alexis Declercq. And then Peter Goossens, who had some very bad luck at the start and didn't manage to finish the race, unfortunately. So no points for him, since you have to do at least 50% of the race laps in order to score points.
Yes, and if we have a look at the silver class, then we can see that Matthias Laurès takes a win in the Red Bull Ring, or on the Red Bull Ring, followed by Jonas Roels in second place, Gilles Philipparts third place, Ken Liebert taking P4, P5 is Sam Puttevels, Lorenz de Vlieger P6, P7 Julien Agnesis, 8 is Matthias Jacobs, and then Flavio Romano unfortunately couldn't take the start because of some technical issues, but that is rounding up the 9 positions of a silver class tonight.
All right, then I think it's time to go for an interview. What do you say?
Yes, I see we have some of the podium finishers in gold class. So I guess we just drag them into our live booth. So first we have Hans, and I'm going to drag in Maxime Robroek as well, because they all know each other, and Hans is bringing coffee cooker next time. So good evening, Hans and Maxime.
Good evening, Ronald. We have to excuse Maarten. He was past his bedtime.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
I guess we can do the interview in Dutch, as Maxime Robok prefers to do it in Dutch.
Okay.
Maybe
Yeah.
we'll do
Well,
a small
I don't
recap in
mind.
English afterwards.
Ja, goedenavond Maxime, Hans. Ik weet niet of het al veel is voorgekomen, een volledig Flemish podium, 1, 2 en 3.
Denk het eigenlijk niet.
Dus we hebben een unieke gebeurtenis hier.
Ja, ik denk dat dat vooral de schuld van Hans is, hè? Want Maarten en Maxime staan meestal op kop, maar Hans schiet er soms van zich af.
Het is de schuld van Maxime of wat het incident heeft gehad. Anders was ik vierde.
Ja, het was een beetje het was er was klein contact, maar ik denk heel veel netcode bij. En dan was Brian zijn auto eigenlijk het grootste slachtoffer. De neus was weg. Verloor natuurlijk alle snelheid. Ik vrees dat er een beetje netcode tussen zat ook.
Ik vond het niet erg, hè?
Het podium is een podium, dus sterke race ook van het hele team ook. Hè. Want uiteindelijk, die eerste 4 posities, jullie hebben heel lang dicht bij elkaar gezeten. Het was eigenlijk tot aan de pitstop zaten jullie altijd kort bij elkaar. Hans, jij samen met Maxime ook enorm teruggekomen richting Maarten en Brian. Dus ja, een sterke race van iedereen eigenlijk in die top 5 op dit moment.
Ja,
nee, ik denk
het was vooral te wijten.
Ja, nee, zeg maar.
Denk maar, Maxime.
Maar het was vooral te wijten aan het feit, die lange rechte stukken, dat we binnen in de secondenkosten blijven om in de draf te zitten. Dat scheelt enorm veel. En denk tijdens de eerste 5 of 6 ronden dat ik te veel in mijn spiegel aan het kijken was met Hans. En dat ik de seconde eigenlijk verloor en dat we eigenlijk daar een beetje wat tijd hebben verloren. Maar uiteindelijk heeft Maarten en Brian daar wel zitten vechten. Kon ik terug aansluiten. En dan gaat het heel rap gewoon. En als jij die seconde blijft, dan win je gewoon een halve seconde per ronde bijna.
Ja, en dan waren we wel een beetje verrast eigenlijk na de pitstop. Ik had verwacht dat jullie... omdat jij bent als eerste binnengekomen, Maxime. Daarna is dan Maarten binnengekomen en dan daarna dan Brian pas. Maarten en Brian hebben redelijk gevochten in de ronde dat jij in de pit was. Dus ik had eigenlijk gedacht dat jullie heel kort bij elkaar gingen zijn. Maar dan uiteindelijk bij de pit exit had Brian, ik denk zelfs 3 seconden. En dan werd dat 2,5 en dan is dat heel snel gezakt.
Ja, dat is gewoon omdat die eerste 3 ronden... En we hebben waarschijnlijk, ik sowieso en Maarten ook, en Brian aan zijn tijden te zien ook wel, allemaal een nieuwe band gepakt. En die banden hebben 3 ronden de tijd nodig om echt mooi warm te krijgen.
Ja.
En mijn eerste ronde, dat is al direct 2 seconden dat ik verlies tegenover Brian die dan uitblijft.
Ja.
En dan, als Brian dan uit de pit komt, dan heb ik wel 6 of 5 seconden achterstand. Maar kan ik wel zijn eerste 2 ronden wel direct goed maken.
Ja.
En zo zat ik dan direct weer in zijn slipstream.
Ja, de tijd tussen jullie beiden kwam heel snel naar beneden. Ik dacht zelfs dat hij een slowdown had opgepikt, omdat het zo snel naar beneden ging. Het was echt van 2,5 seconden naar een halve seconde.
Dat was gewoon omdat mijn banden dan op dat moment echt op temperatuur waren, terwijl dat bij hem echt al op koude bandjes was. Dus,
ja. En Hans, ik heb eigenlijk ook heel lang in het spoor gebleven van die top 3. Mee in de slipstream bij Maxime. En dan, hoe is het voor jou eigenlijk verlopen nog, de rest van de race? En had je het gevoel dat je echt mee kon gaan voor die top 3?
Ik denk als Brian niet was gecrashed, had ik gewoon in de top 4, de vierde plek gebleven. Maar ik kreeg na de pitstop een beetje last van vermoeidheid en ik begon wat stom onnozele foutjes te maken, waardoor ik wel wat tijd verloor.
Het is ook al
Maar
na uw bedtijd.
Ja, nee. Ik wil zeggen bijna, maar nee, ik wacht na 10. Nee, maar als we zo'n lange reizen, zeker bij F3, dat is toch wel vermoeiend. Voor zo'n hele lange te hebben. En dat begint wel te wegen na een uurtje.
Ja, die focus moet er blijven. Dus,
Ja.
Maar in ieder geval, ik zeg het, zeker de eerste helft van de race hebben we echt ook weer wel genoten, hè, Jean, van de strijd tussen jullie
Allee, ik
vieren.
heb wel het einde genoten.
Ja.
Maar inderdaad, in het begin was het wel echt super spannend. En dan die Flemish Sports die bleven heel dichtbij. Die Unity Racing die zat er dan ertussen.
Ja.
Dus echt wel een mooie battle dat we gezien hebben. Maar ook in de zilverklasse. Hè.
Ja, en van de zilverklasse gesproken. Ik zie dat Matthias Lorijs ook zit te wachten. Dus misschien dat we ook eens met hem nog kunnen spreken. Hans, Maxime, zijn er nog mensen die jullie willen bedanken?
De rest van het team, hè?
Ah, voilà.
En de mama en de vriendin. En,
Nee. Merci om erbij te zijn vanavond, alle twee. Merci om te racen. En dan tot volgende keer. Hè. En misschien ook in een van de andere kampioenschappen. Misschien ook nog in de MX5.
De MX5 doe ik zeker mee als er genoeg geïnteresseerden zijn.
Ah, wel, dan zijn we al met 2. Zover zijn we al. Of 3, want ik denk dat Stefan ook nog mee ging doen. Dus we hebben al 3 auto's. Perfect.
Yes, let's
Ideaal.
go.
Oké. Goed,
volgende.
tot de volgende keer.
Yo.
Dag. En dan gaan we ook nog even Matthias Lorijs erbij nemen. Dag Matthias, een goede avond.
Een goede avond.
Vertel eens, de race, hoe is die voor jou verlopen vandaag?
Vlot. De start was wat minder vlot. Er was van alles gebeurd en mijn kwalificatie was eigenlijk niet zo goed. Ik had te veel zenuwen, denk ik, waardoor ik eigenlijk niet zo'n goede tijd neerzette en in het midden moest starten. En dan zag ik rechts en links mensen voorbij vliegen. Dus ik ben blij dat ik daar op dat moment wel uit ben geraakt, want anders had ik wel een probleem gehad voor de rest van de race.
Ja, corrigeer me als ik het fout heb. Was dat een vijfde tijd of zo bij de kwalificatie dat je had? Of,
Ja, ik denk derde in zilver of zo.
Ah ja, klopt. Ja.
Maar ja, bij de start hebben er wel wat mensen mij toch nog ingehaald. Ja, natuurlijk, op dat moment kies ik er gewoon voor om geen schade te nemen en dan mijn eigen snelheid te rijden. Dus dat is het verschil, denk ik, vandaag.
Ja, en dat heeft inderdaad ook opnieuw opgeleverd. En uiteindelijk, als je dan kijkt, zo ver zat je eigenlijk ook niet achter de gold class. Toch niet achter ik denk, achter top 3 zat je behoorlijk kort bij zelfs. Op het einde.
10 seconden,
ja,
denk
zoiets.
ik, op het einde toe. 10, 12 seconden op Hans, denk ik.
Ja.
Sowieso, tijdens de race heb ik ook wel wat moeten uitvechten.
Ja.
Dus, ik kon niet zeggen dat ik met de hele race de quali-pace had die dat ik heb geoefend. Maar op zich wel tevreden van de constante die ik kon houden.
Ja, want het is inderdaad, je zegt het ging vlot en dat is ook zo. Maar het was niet dat je zo van in het begin wegreed en dan iedereen achter je liet. Je hebt er echt wel inderdaad voor moeten vechten ook. Er zijn wel mensen gesneuveld onderweg, ook bij de start. Maar uiteindelijk heb je inderdaad wel ervoor moeten vervechten om die eerste plaats te pakken te krijgen vandaag.
Nee, vandaag was denk ik Lorenz voornamelijk, waar dat het mee spande. En op een bepaald punt denk ik dat Roels ook dichterbij kwam. Omdat ik raakte er ook niet voorbij, of toch niet comfortabel. Op een bepaald moment neem ik dan wel dat risico en dan stilletjes aan... op de kleine foutjes die dat er gemaakt werden, heb ik dan kunnen wegrijden, denk ik. En dan was de touw gebroken en dan kon ik natuurlijk mijn eigen pace rijden. Ja,
vanaf eens dat je er voorbij was het inderdaad wel een iets gemakkelijkere opgave. Dat klopt, want dan zagen we inderdaad dat het gat ook constant groter werd.
Inderdaad. Zo was het.
Weer mooie eer aangedaan aan Digitraqz als Eerste rijder voor Digitraqz. Jammer dat Flavio wat pech had met het starten. Hij had een technische issue, maar ja, Digitraqz staat toch weer al bovenaan op leaderboard in Silver, of toch nog steeds, zal ik zeggen. Hè. Die leiding die dat jij hebt, die wordt alleen maar groter.
Ja, ik ben er wel blij mee, want als ik daar heel eerlijk over ben ik er altijd wel heel zenuwachtig om daar te blijven staan. En ook al staat ervoor, heb je altijd zo het gevoel dat je die race toch wel wilt winnen. En
Ja,
als je
Gilles
dan...
Philippaerts is ook heel, heel, heel sterk, ook in de kwalificaties. Jammer dat hij wat pech heeft gehad in het begin. En dan nog eens met een drive-through had hij nog eens pech met dat ijverig de pits uit te komen. Dus, maar
Ja, het zijn die details allemaal. Hè. Het is zo'n harde... Ja, als je aan het spelen bent, er is geen no mercy. Hè. Als je iets misdoet, dan heb je direct voor heel de race wel aan je been natuurlijk.
Ja, het vlaggen, zoals ze dat ook zeggen. En ik denk ook dat het stilaan tijd is om de race en het commentaar volledig af te vlaggen. Matthias, merci om mee te doen. Proficiat nog eens met de overwinning. Ik veronderstel dat jij bijvoorbeeld Digitraqz ook wel wil bedanken. Zijn er nog mensen die je wil een dankwoord toesturen?
Thuis sowieso over de steun voor alles klaar te zetten, dat ik mij kan focussen op wat ik graag doe, en dat is simracen. Dus daar super, super, super bedankt voor. Natuurlijk, ja, Digitraqz op zich. Fijne omgeving die daar altijd mee volgen en mij steunen. Dus dat zorgt zeker voor die extra motivatie.
Oh wel, perfect. Dan zien we jou volgende keer ook wel weer terug, veronderstel ik.
Gaan ons best doen.
Oh wel, perfect. En daarmee gaan we stilaan de uitzending ook afsluiten. Bedankt, Jean, om mij te ondersteunen.
Maybe we switch back to English, because I also forgot that we're streaming in English.
Yes.
Sometimes it's so easy to go back to your mother tongue.
Yeah. Well,
it was for me, it was a very nice stream to watch. Some very good racing, some exciting battles, some less exciting incidents, but it's something to look back to, and I'm looking forward to next round.
Yeah, me too. And as I was saying in Dutch, thank you for joining this evening. It was fun to watch the race. We saw some nice battles. There were lots of ooh and ahs, and that's always a good sign. So that means that the racing was close but fair. So I'm looking forward to the next one as well.
Absolutely, me as well, and we'll see each other again in 3 weeks for the next round of the Digitraqz F3 Challenge at the 19th of February. Then we'll have to battle at Zandvoort.
Let's go to the coast, and we will see you in Zandvoort. So thank you for watching. Have a good evening, and we will see you next time. Good evening.
Cheers.